have already washed my face and moisturized, and that's already had a chance to sink in, so we can just get started. I'm going to prime my skin. I'm actually going to use 2 primers today. I'm going to try out the new Dr. Brandt. It's the Pores No More, but it's the luminizing one. But I'm also going to mix it with the Becca Backlight priming filter, which I love this too. It's just going to add a little bit of an extra glow to my skin. I'm going to do like that much of the luminizing primer from Dr. Brandt and just a teeny tiny little pump of the Becca. Just a little bit, I added it to it. So I'm gonna have to put my hair up. I didn't think of that before I put the primer on my hand, but I'll do it after I get my primer done. And I love the Dr. Brandt because it fills in your pores. And I have very large pores around like my nose and cheek area right here. So this will help fill them in. And it also adds a little bit of a tint as well. I hope my lighting's okay. I don't have like the artificial, like really nice lighting. I'm just using natural sunlight right now. I have a skylight right there. So it's probably more light on this side of me than this side, but hopefully it's okay so you guys can see. Okay, now I'm going to put my hair up and just get it out of my face. I should have did this before I did the primer, but that's okay. Just throw it up in a little bun. All right, so there's that. Doesn't look so hot, but whatever. We're just doing makeup, right? All right, so now I'm going to color correct. I usually do this on a daily basis. I don't have horrible dark circles, but I didn't get much sleep last night, so they're a little bit worse than usual. But this is the Tarte CC cream. It's starting to wear off because I've used it so much. I have mine in the shade light medium, and I'm already starting to hit pan on it. It's so, so good. It's like a salmon peachy color, so it is great for color correcting under the eyes. And I bring some in the corner of my eye here, because I have like redness or like a shadow right there where it makes my eyes look kind of droopy on the outside, and the color correcting really helps with that. And I make sure and get it on the inside of my eye to help with that shadow. Zoom you in a little bit more. Hopefully you can see better now. Today I'm going to use my It Cosmetics CC cream. Mine's in the shade Fair, and I'm almost out. I love this stuff. It has SPF 50 in it. I really need to pick another one up. I love it. It is a little bit too dark. Even the Fair shade is a little bit too dark for my natural, very fair complected skin tone. I have a little bit of a tan going on right now just from, you know, being outside a lot. But I'm just putting the It Cosmetics CC cream on. This stuff has really good coverage. I wouldn't say it's a full coverage with the sponge, maybe with the brush it is, but I kind of like my natural skin peeking through just on a day-to-day basis. It looks really, really natural and covers up my redness really good. I'm gonna drag it down my neck a little bit just in case it's a tad bit too dark for me. So that's good. Now for anywhere that I might have a little bit of redness peeking through and for my under eyes, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I love this stuff. I use it in Fair, like the absolute lightest shade. I know they come out with new shades, so I'm not sure if there's one lighter than this now, but back when they only had the original shades, this was the lightest, and it works perfect for my super fair skin. So I'm going to just dot this. This stuff, you don't really need a lot of it. It goes a long way. And I have a vein under this eye right here that I really like to cover, so I go a little bit heavier on this eye on the outside. And I'm gonna put a little bit around my nose. I always have redness there. My Cupid's bow, my chin, and a little bit on my, in between my eyebrows on my forehead. My makeup tends to break up there with like all my expressions that I do. And then I do a little bit down the center of the nose. I have a little bit of acne scarring on my cheeks from when I was younger and I used to break out. So I always put some down here, and it's almost a like double duty because it covers my red spots, but it also kind of is like drawing a line where a contour would go to like define it. So I kind of like that. And then I'll do a little bit on my smile lines. And then I just take my beauty blender and blend it all out. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a beauty blender. This is Real Technique sponge, which I actually like more than the beauty blender, just because of its shape. Like, it has this flat side right here. I love this. I use this more than this side, but I love this sponge. I actually have 3 backups right now. So the concealer's blended in, and I'm just gonna take a wipe and kind of take all the stuff off my lips. I can't stand, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I cannot stand having like foundation or concealer on my lips. It drives me crazy. Okay, so next I'm going to set my under eye, and for that I like to use the Sigma tapered highlighting F35 brush. It's just a little like dome shaped highlighting brush, and lately I've been loving using this Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten foundation. I have mine in the shade Porcelain, and it's the perfect color for my skin tone. It has like pink and like cream and like a little bit of a lighter tan color running through it, so when you mix it together, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't emphasize pores. It's great under the eye because it's so light, and it is technically a powder foundation, but it is not cakey at all. I can put this all over my face and like put it on by the pounds, like just keep going and going, and it just looks beautiful. I love it. So, and by the way, I took some of that concealer that I had under my eye and I just lightly dabbed it on top of my eye. I like to use concealer as a eyeshadow primer. It works just fine for me. I usually don't feel the need to use like an actual eyeshadow primer. My eyelids are pretty dry, so the eyeshadow usually stays put pretty good. So there's my under eyes set. And then what I do is I take a large fluffy brush. This is the Real Techniques powder brush. It's just a huge like fluffy brush. Also, sorry, my brushes are dirty. I always wash my brushes on Sunday, and I'm supposed to do them today, but I have errands to run, so I'm doing them later today. I usually wash my brushes like every other week, except for if I use brushes for like liquid products like foundation or concealer, I wash those after every use. But for like my eyeshadow brushes and just like big powder brushes and stuff, I usually wash them like every other week. so I have to do those today. Next, I like to go in with another powder foundation. This, you can't really see. I use this every day. This is like my holy grail. Pretty much everything that I'm using today, I use every time I do my makeup. But I like to use this. It's the It Cosmetics Celebration Foundation. I'm in the shade Fair, which is also the lightest shade. It's a powder foundation that has a little bit of coverage to it. So I like to use the Laura Geller that I just used to set my under eye and set my foundation and concealer. But this I like to use on the outskirts of my face. When I'm super fair, I can even use this as like a very light bronzer on the outer portions of my face, but since I do have a little bit of a tan right now, this is just perfect with my skin tone. So I'm going to use this with a, this is the It Cosmetics brush from Ulta, the Airbrush Complexion Perfection brush, number 115. It's just like, it has an angle. This is really good for applying powder foundations. It's like densely packed, so it gives you really good coverage. But I'm just tapping my brush in, tap off the excess, and then I literally just kind of pat it into the outskirts of my face. Just for a little bit of dimension and also a little bit more coverage, because like I said, I do have a little bit of scarring, like from acne scars. And I bring this up on the side of my face as well, up on my forehead. And I pat because I don't want to like swipe and rub off all the CC cream and concealer that I just put down. So I like to pat it on so I don't disrupt all the work I've just done. But I put it down my neck too. Just a little bit, helps set it so if it's tacky it doesn't like rub off on my clothes and stuff. But this also helps for to lay down powder before you put on your bronzer, your blush. It just helps those blend easier when your face isn't tacky. So I really like using this. I always do this in my makeup routine. Alright guys, that's it. That is my spring foundation routine. Thanks so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.